He's one thing about him, he's a tough guy. So, but yeah, you can manage guys load in practice.
In the games, though, he's such a smart player that you want to have him in there, 35 minutes a game, right? I mean, ish.
Yeah, I mean, he makes mistakes you don't see because in my opinion, he's tired, but he's never going to let you see it. He's never going to let you see it. So there's subtle things. Now, he doesn't take bad shots, doesn't turn it over. We're past that, fortunately. But for the most part, there's certain things you don't need to make. You're not alert on defense because you're trying to catch your breath.
You guys have gone 3-1 in the first game of a 2-game weeks. What's gone into being so good in those first games?
Well, you just jinxed us. Yeah, I mean, tough to say. It could just be matchups. I think that would probably be more of it. You look at the Washington trip, we could have easily lost Washington and beat Washington State. And some of the other ones, tough to say. I think your opponent could have a lot to do with that as well.
Arizona State seemed like, I don't know if you watched the games last year against UCLA, but it seemed like a really tough matchup. Quick guards, lots of three-pointers.
Yeah. It's I said matchups is everything in college basketball. So even in the pros, but they're obviously they play 3 guards. They can really shoot it. They got 2 guards. The guys that bring off the bench can score. Verge, we're familiar with from JUCO back in Chicago. He can really create his own offense. We've struggled with that at times. The Oregon guards really hurt us. So definitely a big concern for us.
Turnovers, you talked about that after the game the other day. Why is that maybe more important on the road than at home to limit that?
Oh, it's huge. You turn the ball over on the road and teams start playing downhill on you. Teams tend to execute better and make more shots at home. They tend to. So you cannot go on the road and give them easy baskets. Because as you saw at Oregon, home teams tend to, to make some shots. Just like Prince did here against, I'm sure Tad Boyle's thinking Prince is making those threes. Tad Boyle's thinking, what I do to deserve this. So you're at home, that tends to happen. So you can't give easy baskets on the road. You can't. You got to expect teams are going to make some shots, make some plays. The last thing you can do though is turn it over, give them layups, get their crowd involved, and then they start their energy on defense elevates because of their home crowd. And so turnovers are improving. Our rebounding numbers are the biggest. I would tell you, for us, when we defend the 3. If you go and look at the games we've struggled, and this would be Oregon or the entire, we've struggled defending the 3-pointer. So that's a big indicator for us.
What have you done better recently in the games you won?
Defend the 3.
How?
Again, some of it's matchups. You got to be fair to other teams. Sometimes guys miss open shots. There's always the devil in those numbers is the luck quotient. It's in there if you look. There's a quotient in the it's a luck quotient. We had some games early this year. I joked with our staff. Teams were shooting 75% against us at the foul line. And it was somebody else in our league, and their opponents were shooting 59% at the foul line. And like Mike Lewis said, they're playing better defense on free throws than we are. So, there's always that, and it all evens out in the end. That's why you got to stay the course and just, about what you're teaching. We've struggled at, again, when you're building DNA, when to help, how to help. Sometimes we help for no reason. That's still an area where we struggle at times, and at other times, when we do help, we don't help correctly. which would be in the passing lane of the passer to the three-point shooter. We shrink and we help small and underneath, which allows an easy pass to the shooter instead of helping in the passing lane. But it takes time. I just keep reminding myself. But the difference is now the guys understand. Like, you got a chance to win when Cody Riley's checking in and he's laying on the ground and he's yelling out at his teammates defensive things that they need to be doing while he's laying at half court, shrinking to get in the game. And he's laying there, and I'm standing there, and he's yelling out at his teammates. Yeah, that's a big change for us. Progress.
So you're going to be the third week in a row you guys play a ranked team. Obviously last year Pac-12 didn't get much representation in the postseason, but can you just talk about how the conference, the league has done this year? Maybe it's surprising or how challenging it's been? Well,
you guys would know versus last year, and I don't really look at the net stuff. You guys do probably. Right, to me there's 5 tournament teams for sure. Be it Arizona, Oregon, Colorado, Stanford, and SC. Which versus how many last year?
There was 3, I think. Yeah.
2 or 3.
But
it didn't make it very far.
Cal was supposed to be down. Look at their record. All you got to do is look at Washington's record with 2 first-round picks to tell you how good our league is. So there's a lot of talk of our league. We got some really good teams like Oregon. They take losses. They're going to. Life is tough on the road, and there's good teams in our league. So you guys probably have a better opinion of the last time it was this deep. I don't know. Not that we may not have a team in the top 5 in the country, but our league has great depth. Really, really good depth. When people talk about Mark's in his first year at Cal, and they're beating everybody at home. They almost beat Oregon, but I think that's their only home loss in the league. That tells you right there. Or last year, did they win the league game?
How important is the gradual growth of the culture and the DNA
imperative
in helping build this winning streak?
Well, you're not going to win games in this league if you don't defend and take care of the ball and rebound. Then you better tack on that. You better got to have a few guys play well and get the ball in the basket for you. You're going to have all 4. Because there's no easy games. Kyle's totally changed Washington State in a year. Very tough out. Like I said, Mark Fox has done at Cal. So there's Washington's got their record and they got lottery picks. So it's hard to win a game. So if we can't win a game by rolling the balls out with talent. Like it's not going to happen. We got to win the game with toughness, togetherness, playing smart, playing to win. All the DNA stuff that I talk about all the time. That's the only way you're going to win. We're not going to roll out there and win. In fact, nobody in this league is going to just roll out and win with elite talent. It's too hard. There's too many good teams.
Speaking of free throws, Chris Smith, 85%. He's gone way up. What's gone into that?
He's missed entirely too many for me. I'm just kidding. He's got a soft touch. He's got a very soft touch. He's got his routine. He's got an easily repeated routine if you watch his form on his free throws. And again, I'll go back to, if guys stay in school and they're coachable, they get better. It's really not rocket science. You look around the country, look at Chris's improvement, Luka Garza's improvement at Iowa, Nick Richards at Kentucky. Michael Jordan's back in the day, Tim Duncan's, David Robinson's, Chris Paul's. It tends to happen if you stay the course and you work hard. Unfortunately, too many don't stay the course anymore.
How close are you to the DNA being where you like it to be?
I'll tell you that when we cut the nets down. No, you got to build your culture. Any business, you're successful business, you're trying to build your culture first in the DNA of what you stand for. Success will follow that.